Good morning, my stamping friends. It's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Albert, Alberta. And thank you for joining me on my first Mystery Monday video of November. We are in November. So I think from here on in, we're going to kind of focus on a Christmas. So whether it's cards or 3D items or packaging or tags, there is so much in the offering that sometimes we just don't have enough time to share all of it, but we'll do our best to share a lot. So today we're going to take a look at this Festive Friends bundle. And this is an online exclusive item. So it's just one of our cutesy sets that involves a little bit of coloring, but not really very much. So you have your elf, your Santa, your snowman, a couple of greetings, snowflakes, trees, and you have these really, really fun dies on the inside. So they do cut out your three little images here. Plus there's some extras for sort of stars, snowflakes, extra trees, greeting. So it's kind of an all-inclusive. It's pretty much has everything that you need. So we are just going to use this one stamp set and dies on our project today. So let me know if you have it or if you've used it, because I've just recently started using it. I've been sort of focusing on fall and everything, but this is what we are going to make today. I love snowmen. It's probably one of my favorite subjects to do Christmas cards from. I love trees too, so between the two of them, here I've kind of used both in one card, but yeah, snowmen are kind of one of my favorites. So actually a lot of Christmas stuff is my favorite, but we just have so much that sometimes it's, like I said, hard to use it all when we're trying to show you what we have. Okay, so this one comes together really pretty quick. It's not a fun fold or fancy fold, it's just a regular card. So we're going to start with our card base, and I chose Pool Party. I kind of like blues for Christmas. I love like our Night of Navy and Silver especially. I think those make for some really elegant cards, and our new Secret Sea would also be fabulous. Okay, so now I have another piece of Pool Party, which is 5 1/4 by 2, and I will post all these measurements, so not to worry. So we're just going to do a little bit of stamping. I did some stamping here of snowflakes, but if you have some designer series paper with snowflakes or just something kind of wintry, you're welcome to use that instead. But I thought, well, let's use some of these stamps in the stamp set. So I've pulled out that snowflake, and I'm just going to stamp Pool Party on Pool Party. And I'm going to do full strength, and you can add as few or as many as you like. I like to just sort of turn it every once in a while. Just as many as you like, right? And you can even just add partial ones around the edges. Put them in a little bit of a blizzard, our little snowman. Okay, so then we are going to put this on the top of our card base. And we'll just grab our Stampin' Seal for that. I know a lot of you love to use glue, so you can certainly use that as well. I think I'll turn it this way. It doesn't really matter. Snowflakes kind of go in all directions, right? Okay, so put that at the top. And then I added some basic white here. Can you see these little swirls in here? I thought, well, that's kind of like when the wind kind of, blusters over the snowbanks and things. So I ran it through the So Swirly embossing folder. It's this large one. We also have one that I think is waves. So if you don't want like all these swirls, you could just do some gentle kind of waves to, mimic the snow. So it's a really large embossing folder. And this piece, I believe, is 5 1/4 by 2.5. But before I put it on, I'm going to do a really old technique called paper tearing, because I thought, well, we'll just have this a little bit not quite so straight. Okay, so you're just going to start and rip the paper towards you and kind of guide it along with your thumb. All right, there we go. And you don't want to rip off too much because you don't want it to go below this layer. But that's why I've cut it an extra half an inch to give you a little bit of leeway for your paper tearing. Okay, so that's just going to go here. So it looks like, you know, you've kind of got a little bit of a rougher edge there. Okay, so now we're going to add our little elements to this. So in the dies, we have these two trees. Okay, so you have this pattern and you have this really long one, which is kind of fun. So I cut these out of shaded spruce and granny apple green. I thought, well, let's go for a little bit of a lighter green instead of just all green. I mean, you can choose whatever colors you want. If you want to go a little out of the box, you know, you could do pink trees or you know, sparkling trees or purple tree, like whatever kind of fits your color palette. I mean, let's not forget Charlie Brown Christmas, right? They had those aluminum trees and they were all kinds of colors. So, and they were a thing here too, some of those artificial trees way back in the day, right? White ones and blue ones and everything. So I digress. Anyway, okay, so let's add these trees. So on this one, because this die actually cuts out this center here. Now, an idea you can do, when this center pops out, you could cut this tree, let's say, out of the shaded spruce, right? This shape out of shaded spruce and one out of granny apple green. And this center portion that comes out, you could put in the center of the opposite color. So you would have granny apple green with a shaded spruce, you know, the branches inside, and then you'd have your shaded spruce large tree with a granny apple green branch inside. That would kind of switch things up a bit too, which could be fun. We'll have to try that maybe on another project. So this could, I mean, you could use an adhesive sheet. Because it's just sort of small little panels here, I'm just going to use my liquid glue because my adhesive, my Stamp and Seal might kind of go all over the place. So let's grab that, put those aside for a sec, and you can put this wherever you like. You can even add more trees if you wanted. I'm going to put this a little more to the left because I want our snowman to be front and center. So give that a little press. And then this one, I'm going to put beside, but I'm going to pop it up with just a couple of dimensionals. Okay, you don't have to. You could lay them on flat. Right, you know, right on top is fine. I'm going to put him a teeny bit lower. Okay. And then this one, I'm just going to put flat on the right-hand side. So I'll just put that on with adhesive. And I've seen this Festive Friends set for used for a lot of things, for tags, you know, all of the little characters on different cards. It's, you know, quite a versatile set. And if you like to color, you know, it's kind of relaxing. You could, you know, there's not very much coloring on them, right? So that's helps too. Okay, so let's put our little snowman dude here in the center, and I am going to pop him up as well. How many of you build snowmen with your kids or your grandkids in your yards? If you have enough snow, it's that nice, wet, sticky snow that makes the best snowmen, right? We used to build them all the time when our kids were small. First snowfall, it's typically a little bit more wet. And snowman was our project. It was fun. Okay, so now all we're going to do is add a greeting. And from the stamp set, I'm going to do We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And there is also a die, this one die here, to cut this out. Okay, so like I say, it's all kind of self-contained, which is really neat. All right, so I have cut out that die, and it cuts out these two little sort of stars on each end. And I'm just going to stamp that in our tuxedo black memento. And excuse my head, I'm just going to try to center this in here. Okay, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Teeny bit crooked, but that's okay. So I was going to pop that up too, but maybe here, I don't know if I should just leave it flat. I think this time I'm just going to leave it flat. I'm going to use some liquid glue too because I want these little ends here to stick down. Oops, maybe a little bit too much there. Okay, just a little bit. Ooh, more than I wanted. Yikes. Yikes. I'm going to glue all over my surface here. Hang on, I just want to wipe that up with something. I do have some paper towel here. Okay, let's just wipe that up. I have to clean my glass mat after, but it's a super easy wipe up, so I love my mat for that. Okay, so let's just put this on flat. And there's a little bit too much glue. It's spurting out a little bit, but that will dry clear, so that's okay. And then I'm just going to add some of our rhinestone basic jewels, just for a teeny bit of bling. So we'll put one in each of these snowflakes here, or stars, or whatever they are. Stars, I guess. Okay, so we'll put one in each of those and one on the pom-pom on his hat. Okay, and there you go. So pretty simple card, really. And he's cute. And for the blends, I just colored him with blends. So I used the light pool party, the light granny apple green, the light shaded spruce, and the light pumpkin pie, which was for his nose, but he was stamped in the tuxedo black in the memento and cut out with the die. And the trees were from the dies, and the greeting was from the dies. So, and a really, really great all-inclusive set. So I hope you enjoyed that project. Kind of fun to start off November, and we will see you again next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.